is one of my brand new teammates.
You're fine.
Cassandra. It's her birthday. Cassandra, stand. Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sandra. Happy birthday to you.
And how much time do I have?
Like 20 minutes.
Perfect.
20,
This is
25.
for you.
Who's going to talk to us?
Cute. And Jay, and so
I
is
don't
yours.
have enough handouts.
Okay, so I'm going to say 15 minutes so then I can be done, like quickly. So before Jayla is handing out packets, please don't look at those yet. Like I'll tell you everything you need to know. What I really want you to do is like just listen for a second, and then I'll explain all those. But let me ask you just a couple of questions to get started. Who would love to do 100 faces with no cancellations, like one after the other? If your hand is not up, I'm just concerned that we need oxygen. Okay, put your hands down. How about this one? Who would love it if their average party were 6 to 10 people? Okay, so if we have an average, let's just go on the low side, 6, and we're doing 100 faces, about how many parties would that be? Ish, right? Okay. So yeah, that is like nothing at all. Now, what I really want to share with you is those numbers are extremely realistic. And who's the newest person? Like who's been in less than a week?
Oh, Yvonne, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this should not even be scary for Yvonne. I know she's like, well, you explain that one to me, sister. But the thing is, what we want to do is tighten up the basics. And the basics of Mary Kay is holding a what? Skincare party. Class, experience, whatever it is you want to call it. That's how Mary Kay started, like herself. It does not, we do not need to reinvent a wheel, but what we do need to do is tighten up what we are doing. I'm not going to be talking about scripts tonight. I'm not going to be talking about 21-day booking, nothing like that. Really just keeping track of what we're doing. So, and let me show you why. This is even me. So, this battered and bruised hostess packets right here. The party was supposed to be March the 18th with my hostess Caroline Elliott. Okay, I had talked to her to book the party. Okay, I hadn't talked to her in over 1.5 years when I sold her Volume Firm skincare system. So I made one of those phone calls like, really, life has happened, and I'm sorry, can I please have a do-over? That was exactly what I said to her. She's like, oh, you don't even have to apologize. I'd love to do whatever it was. It's like, great, let's get together again. Okay, so she gave me a second chance. And so here was this, and then several things happened, and went by the 1.5 weeks. And then a couple of days before, I was like, hey Caroline, how's it going? Are we so excited about your party like in 2 days? Okay, right? But so it doesn't matter what happened in between. Has that happened to anybody else? Like you book your party, a week or two or whatever goes by, 2 days before you're like, hey, we're still on, right? Well, if you forgot, what do you think she did? Okay, so, and here it is, still in my hands and not in hers. Now, y'all want to know the really sad thing? Y'all know why I came up with this or came across this? Because I was cleaning out my bag to pack for today. Okay, now I know some people are like, well, I just like to have somebody to follow up with. Well, that's great. That's what we're trying to resolve, is to not have hostess packets like this that should be in their hands. So, the process that we're going to talk about today is just, it's not like some magical anything, but it's just called, we're kind of referred to as the party process. There's a senior director. I don't know who she belongs to or any of that. Julia probably does.
Julia,
thank you. Who is a very successful person. And anyway, she talked about how she has everything like I just described, okay? She was successful. Clearly, she's a senior director. But things were just kind of falling apart. So she was really just trying to put her finger on the pulse of not only her unit, but her own business. Realizing I have got to gain control of things just like this so we can actually have the parties, y'all, okay? Before, I wanted anybody on my team, back last January, not this one, but the last January, we introduced the spa experience. I was like, that is the thing. I grabbed hold of that. I was having parties of 10 and 12 people, $1,100 to $1,500, $1,600, just like that, all the time. And it was great, but that's not where my sales are right now, consistently like they were. And this was kind of the reason why things were getting lost in the process. This is the same story that Marnie Hendricks is the one that created all of these sort of. I recreated them for us so they would be clear. I'm going to give you a video. I'm going to upload it actually on Monday area, so you'll be able to hear her. We'll talk about that in a minute. But she's the one that created this little binder system, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a high D, a high I, a high S, a low S, whatever personality kind you have. This can help you keep track of your papers. That's the deal. This looks like a party binder. I thought that was cute, so that's what it's in, okay? I have printed off the color version of what you have the black and white version of. We're going to go through that packet in just a second. I just put it in a sheet protector and then put a tab on it, sticky notes, little stick-on tab, just so I can flip the pages. But I'm going to walk through this so you understand the different pages and what we're going to do and so forth, okay? So let's go through your packet quick. You can write on them. These are only black and white copies. I love y'all, but I wasn't going to do all the things for y'all. But I do want you to have it. The way these are intended to print, you're welcome. These are printed front back. Don't print these front back. Because these first 5 sections are to be your section headers or section like pages. You can print them on cardstock if you want to, or just put it in a sheet protector. So you've got the party with a purpose, so we know what it is. The next tab, and it says section 1. See, so just front back. And we're going to read over this in a minute.
But we're not supposed to do it front back.
No, I'm saying on your thing it's front back.
Okay.
So section 1, and then you've got your section 2. Then you've got your section 3, which is party in progress. Again, you're going to print these off of Monday area in color, 1 page up. And then you've got section 4, post party in progress, and then section 5, completed parties. Okay? So if you just put, yes?
So these are all like tabs.
Yes, these would be like your binder headings. You're going to put stuff behind them, and you'll understand whenever I'm going through. So those were the 5 sections of your binder, okay? Now, look in your packet, and you'll see a black and white version of this, the hostess party checklist. Everybody grab this piece of paper, okay? The hostess party checklist. I did not create this, y'all. I've tried to get credit where credit is due. I'll put it on the Facebook, whatever we're posting this, the Monday area. But let's go through this page first, okay? So this is a sheet, and like in my binder, I have a whole bunch of them, so I can just grab one. So I just called Susie. We've been, just met her wherever, and she said she wants to have a party. I was like, okay, great. So I grabbed one of my blank papers that you're holding, and I put Susie's name on it, okay? And Susie tells me she wants to have a party, but she's going to, Italy for a week or something. Well, that's great, right? So I don't need to follow up with her while she's in Italy. I'll wait till she gets back. So what I'm going to do with this piece of paper, let me just get one out. Susie's name on it is Susie and her paper are going to travel through my binder as her party develops. Okay, do you see how this works? So here's Susie's paper. We hold it for her.
Melanie, this is totally up your alley.
Yeah.
So I have Susie's name. She said she wants to have a party, but I don't really have a date yet. Okay? So she's going to go behind the first tab, which says date in progress. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? Because I literally have, I don't even know how many people that said they want to have a party, but we haven't made a date yet, and I don't want to keep losing my little pieces of paper. Do you see? So in my binder, all I have is Susie, and she wants to do it. Yes.
So when you're doing your booking blitz and someone says yes, you fill out one of those sheets of paper.
Yes.
And you get it to the front part of your party book.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, and the back is blank, so make little notes here. You talked to her today or whatever. Now, this is not necessarily, for those of you who know what the 21-day tracking system is, which we are going to teach on like 3 weeks from now, this is not necessarily somebody that I'm going to put on that 21-day tracking, so I'm following up and texting every 3 days like a mad person, okay? This is different from that. So she's going to go here, along with all the other people that said yes, but we don't know when. So now that she's back from her tour of Italy, and we've decided that she wants to have her party, and we set the date, we go ahead and fill this information out here on the left, the date, the address, whatever, all we need. And then there's the checklist. For time's sake, you're able to read. I'm not going to go through everything here, but there are checklists all the way down. Like immediately after the booking, do all these things. Throughout the next few days, do these things. We're going to talk about some of this in detail. But I want to decode the bottom for you because I did not have a little key and it took me a second. I was like, what does this mean? So on the bottom is where you could put the guest names if she gives you some or when she gives them to you and you can write on the back. So name, number, color, or skincare samples. The C stands for color. Okay, so like, did you give her a cheek sample or an eye sample? Or did you give her a little time-wise strip? Right? Okay, and then has she used Mary Kay before, yes or no? I love, that was easy to decode for me. And then any skin issues. Okay, you can also write these little notes when you're pre-profiling. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then skin type. Okay, what does ND stand for? CO? Perfect. Okay, those are your pre-profiling questions. That's what you need to know. All right, so that's that little code down there. So Susie has decided we have her date, okay, and we're beginning to fill this out. So now she is going to be behind the guest list in progress tab. So let's look at that quickly so that I can show you what this is. All right, it says guest list in progress. This is section 2. At the top, it says section 2. I apologize for not stapling them, but I knew you wouldn't want to staple when you got home. Or here. So, guest list in progress. Let your hostess know when you're going to start making invites and ask her to answer your 4-question survey. Okay? Now, in your packet, you also have a page like this, and it says fun facts. It's black and white. Okay? This is kind of what it corresponds to. But I also wrote the questions down on the section 2 heading. Okay, so you don't have to flip. I'm just trying to show you what corresponds. So the questions are, how long have you used Mary Kay? What is your favorite product? What is one skincare or makeup step you don't want to leave the house without doing? And what do you love most about being an MK customer? Now, the reason why we're asking her these questions is because we're going to make an invitation and a little packet, and it's actually going in the mail, like snail mail, okay? Now, in order to do this, you need about a 2-week window. I am not telling you to postpone all the parties you have right now for 2 weeks. I'm saying start working now. When you have one booked out 2 weeks, start this process now, okay? But whenever you have a chance to watch this video that she's talking, and there's some other directors on this Google Hangout talking, they are all talking about how when they stopped sending invitations through the mail, their party bookings went like this. Okay? Because what have we gotten to? Oh my gosh, I don't have time to send her a pic collage or a text and send it out. Bam. Here, Heather, can you send that to all your friends, please? Yes. And then I forget what's going on for the next week and a half. And then I call her 2 days before to find out how it's going. And how many people do you think she actually texted? None. If she did, she pre-qualified them. Oh, she's not going to like Mary Kay. Oh, she probably won't come. She wouldn't like it. Well, gosh. I have some. I have to. Okay, I'll do it later because the kid's screaming. The dog needs to be fed. She's late for work. The kid ate my homework and all this kind. You know what I'm saying? Which that does happen. But do you see? Do you see kind of how that's happening? All right. So ask her these questions because whenever you get to this fun facts, that's where you're going to put it. Okay, that's another little page. And then you get started on the guest list. You are asking her for the guest list. Now, if you have seen and are using this hostess packet, this is still something you can use. This is on MondayArea.com also. She may be making her list here, okay? If you don't know what this is, ask your director, because that's not what we're here for today. But you are actually going to make invitation packets, okay? And they're going to look like this. Turn to section 3, little section 3 heading. And these are what your invitation packets are going to look like in the mail, okay? I'll leave these up here afterwards so you can see. This is a clear little cello envelope. I already can tell you where to get them. Don't worry about that right now. But what it has is this invitation, but there's also a template in here for that. See, I have 5 minutes left. Stop. But what's in here is the invitation, front and back. On the back of this little, well, let me just show you on this. On the back of the invitation, it has, look at where it says you're invited. I'm sorry. I know it's like so fast. J-Law's like, you got 5 minutes. Okay, great. Do you see where it says you're invited? Find that dot-to-dot piece of paper. Okay, this prints 2 up and front back. Okay? And by the way, all of these documents are in Word. Does everybody in here know how to use Word on your computer or phone? Great, so you can type over these. Super easy, set up like a template. This is all done, but on the back side of that, do you see where it says date, time, location? Okay, that's where you're gonna either type out or handwrite. People, if you don't want to type it out, it's blank. Print it out and write it out. It does whatever's best for you. Cut them in half, okay? Anyway, you're going to put one of these in your invitation packet. The next thing you're going to put in there, find this back where it said the fun fact sheet. Grab that again. Fun facts.
Fun facts. The polka dot it.
Okay. Polka dot one. You got it. Okay, this is the hostess survey. Those 4 questions that you ask, you're either going to handwrite or type. I would say type. It won't take so long. You're going to type those answers in the Word document there, print it off, cut it in half. Okay? You're going to have this.
We're putting her picture.
Yes, you're going to put her picture, sorry, the hostess's picture.
Okay.
We're hostess picture.
And the hostess's answers.
Yes, and the hostess's answers.
You ask her to send you one, or you steal it off Facebook?
Right. I'm going to tell you where, it's still on Facebook, but I'll tell you where to get all this stuff in a minute. Turn that over on the back. Do you see where it says your name here? This is you. Like, because you're the one typing it. This is you, the consultant. This is going to be your little bio. This does not completely replace you telling the I story at your party, but it will cut it down considerably, people. Okay? And if you just can't even remember why you started Mary Kay, why you love it, then read what you wrote. Right? You don't have to rewrite the same thing every time you have a party. Okay,
And like, what did she write, Debbie? Can you give us an
yes, I will
example?
give you an example. Let's see if I have one here. Did I bring one of my examples? I did not. So what? You mean the...
Because hers was like a picture of her family or something.
Okay, so yes, there isn't... Well, it's going to be posted. There will be examples up. But on this one, like I put a picture of mine here. I left these at home because mine look a little different. I don't want to confuse you. But I put a picture of me. And then down here, up in where pictures of my family, I have a picture of like me and my kids. We were down in Galveston right before we took our cruise last year. And then I have a picture of myself, my parents, and my kids getting on the cruise ship. We're like, hey. And I put a little blurby caption down there. I don't know. And then in the part where it says about your beauty consultant, I put that I have, it was worded well. I mean, I'll post it if y'all want to see it. But it says something about how I've had my Mary Kay business for 2 years, but I've actually been wearing Mary Kay for 26 years. And then I went on and told about just super simple. My 3 kids, they were like 23 and 22, and the boys are studying at DBU, and my daughter's a senior in high school. And my mission is something clever, I don't know, having to do with Mary Kay. And my vision was even better, you know, like loving on women or whatever it was. And that's, you know, and then I have my life verse on the bottom, which you do not have to do that. I'm very unapologetic about my faith. And so if they don't want me to come to their party, then oh well, bless them. you know, they'll be green little dust. So that's just, oh no. But anyway, so that's just, it was super short. The whole thing was maybe like 6 or 8 sentences.
Okay.
Super short. But there is an example that will be posted with all of this on Monday area so that you don't have to try to come up with your own words. If you don't have 2 boys and a girl, don't copy me there. Okay? So if you look on that section 3, party in progress, it says there, send your hostess a pic of the finished invites going out in the mail.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is fix my little, this is my invitation packet. This is going to go in the mail, and I'll tell you how you're going to mail it in a minute. So in here, I have my little color copy of my invite that I put my stuff on. Both sides of this little thing, and it's cute. And if you got that in the mail, wouldn't you like open it and see what it is? Yes. 2 little samples that cheek and eye, and a business card. They need to know how to call you. Okay? And these go in these little cello bags. Don't worry, I'll give you the link. So you're going to drop this down here, and at your local office supply or Amazon, they'll deliver it to you. You don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. They will deliver, I think it's like 2" by 4" mailing labels. So it's a little bit bigger than a business card. It's about like that size. And you can slap one of those things right on here with your, write their address, put a stamp on here, and they'll mail it.
Yes.
Really? Right through the mail, just like this. Yes, right through the mail.
They don't like you, but yes.
Yeah, this one has a different kind of a sample in it, but that's what they look like. So what I've done is I know from Bethany, she's gonna have 8 people, so I have made. This is what you want to write down: 8 invitation packets for her 8 guests, and 1 for the hostess. Make an invitation pack for her people and the hostess, okay? And you're gonna lay cute on the table or whatever, snap a picture, and tell Bethany, I'm taking these to the mail right now, okay? And she's gonna go, oh my gosh! And then you send a little text, and the wording's already on there that says, hey, let me know when you get yours, okay? So you know when she's got hers, which means who else has theirs? Good. Now I want to stop right here for a second, because some of you may be in your head like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. And it could be a little bit of money. But let me tell you what, whenever I haven't made these yet, but I did a lot of stuff getting ready for this so I could have these to show you. And you know what I kept saying to myself? This beats reading a book and writing a paper every day of the week. Those of you who have known me long enough know that as an educator, I do not mind reading, y'all. But as an educator, on top of all of the other things that we had to do, we were assigned this crazy book list. Y'all, these books had words I did not even understand. They were bigger than my vocabulary. And we were supposed to read 3 or 4 of these in a 9-month period and write like 5- and 6-page reports to be turned into who? For what? And that's helping me teach this 4th grader. How? Are you kidding me? And I did not get paid extra to read that. So guess who did not read them? Guess who looked, I'm just honest, guess who looked for a summary on the internet? I could read words. Put that one on there too. But if you do not have to do this, if you are serious about going on the cruise, forget the cruise for a second. If you are serious about replacing your income or even just making extra money, use your time wisely. Make every moment count. How did Marty say it? Wait a minute, I wrote it down. Like I was driving and I wrote this one down. She said, maximize my moments. Write that down. Maximize my moments. If I am going to spend 2 hours of my time with people that I enjoy, y'all, do y'all want 1 person there, or would you rather have 6 or 10? Sign me up, okay? So these are the invitation packs. 5 minutes and then I'm done. So let's kind of move on quickly. That really was kind of the heart of the matter. There's another little box there on the section 3 heading that says Coach Your Hostess. This is just kind of telling you some things to follow up on with her. Once you know they have their invites, call them. Do not just take the chicken way out and text them. Y'all, mail and phone calls, those are a lost art. So let's be that girl. Let's be the ones doing that, okay? Look at section 4. Now, remember the whole time, you remember this was Susie's paper when she was in Italy? Remember?
Yes, yes.
This has moved through each section of the binder, okay? So when you mail the invites, it's there. When you have the party, it's behind that one. When the party's over, it goes into section 4, where it says the post-party in progress. Here, it says, in an effort to maximize your guest list, send a follow-up packet to anyone who couldn't attend. How many of you have gone to a party and somebody that said they were going to come didn't come? Okay, y'all, sometimes it's like somebody broke their arm and they had to take them to the emergency room or something, right? Or they got sick. So this is what's in a follow-up pack. It's listed right there. A coupon, you have this already. It's like a little heart. They look like this. There's two.
I love that.
Okay.
Oh, please, wait. Keep on.
So it says, we missed you at Sherry's party. Y'all, yeah, there's a copy of this. When you get ready to do this document on Word, if your hostess's name is not Sherry, please change where it says Sherry. Y'all, okay, so change her name. So y'all should circle that on there so you know that you need to change that. Okay, circle it on your black and white copy, otherwise, what is going to happen? What is going to happen if you send this note to the hostess named Barbara?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, does Barbara feel special? Barbara feels like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even know who I was. And then you got other repair work to do. That's another training. So this is the people that didn't come. They're going to get that little coupon. It's $10 off and a current lookbook. These are old ones. And little samples and your business card. Slap that little bad boy in the mail too. Okay? So that way, because you've got their name and number, you're following up with them. And you're also, by the way, making note of the little scripts on here after the party. And then the jackpot of all jackpot sections. Section 5. Completed. Section 5 says completed parties. Do y'all see that? Yeah. What's underneath that is even more important. Those of you who have the Section 5 paper up, read that with me. Remember to reach out to your hostesses every quarter when the new lookbook hits the mail. Okay?
Or put it in that section.
Yes, so first of all, put Susie's sheet back there. So you've got several things. Now, Susie can have actually not 4, but 5 parties with you every year. Why? Every lookbook plus the holiday one.
Yeah.
Right? And you also have Susie's guest list, either stapled to or written on the back of that. Those are all your referrals, okay? Do you see how this is happening now? So it is not, it's not reinventing your party process. It is keeping track of the menagerie of papers that are getting lost right now, and the hostess things that don't end up getting out of your bag until you need to get your bag again. That's terrible. She's getting a call tomorrow, by the way, and her name's going to be on the list, I assure you. But does that help?
Yes.
Wow. Yes.